Memento. I even tested the IDs, made sure they work beforehand. Let's make some adjustments here. For spectator, for blue team, we have Asgard Okami. Red team, we have Beyond Plus Ultra. I believe this is a remade lobby. So I don't know what the original picks and bans are, but the game state is 0-0. And then we go mess with some audio real quick. Bump that. Make sure we got this. Let's look at these comps real quick. Alright, for Asgard Okami, we have the Yuhuang. Pretty noticeable in mid. It's a safe pick. We have the Baron Samani, another good healer. Gonna have some good burst damage. Ravana, Kurnanos, and Hercules. Kurnanos is kind of showing up here in the meta for ADC. I think Ravana is a good pick here, especially when you look at what is on the side of Beyond Plus Ultra, where they have this Cupid. I think Cupid is very strong right now, especially with some of the builds I've been running. I've ran him a few times over the past couple weeks. He feels pretty good. Kerberos, great for anti-heal. Just got buffed in 10.3. He's going to be feeling pretty good. We see the Moja. Always has great lockdown with the River's Rebuke. And then you have Riptide. Overall, just feeling good. Chiron has a Vital Amplifier build that's been kind of popping off in solo and in carry. So we'll see where that decides to end up being played. And last but not least, we see this Thor. Thor has been good as a solo and jungler up until this point. We'll have to see where these gods end up as we go. But let's hop into game number 1 of Asgard Okami versus Beyond Plus Ultra, casted by me, Blaze McBain. Like I said, I'm not sure what the picks and bans were here, but we see some pretty meta picks of what we've seen over the past, I guess, like week and a half since 10.3 has dropped, really week and a day. And we'll have to see how this pans out, where everybody's going, how's everybody feeling. But at this point, I believe Asgard Okami is ranked at, I think they're number 1 in their division with this set. So we'll have to see how they end up playing out here. The Phoenixes have respawned. Oh, wow, that's a great notification. Spectator is doing its thing. Alright, so I'm assuming this is going here. Mid. I'm assuming that's the lineup here. I am really curious about what is going on. This is definitely like Thor jungle. The emojis and support. I have to think this is the layout here. Maybe it's Chiron in solo or in mid. Yeah, okay. There we go. We got it right on the first time. And what I'm really curious about is what is the plan as far as starts? Because starts could be pretty interesting here to say the least. Seems like we've got a pause come through early on here, so let's give this a second. Go ahead and bump the speed real quick. Let this pause undo itself. There we go. I'm curious to see how they handle the starts here, as we've seen a variety of starts, not only in casual play, but I've seen it in scrims and in just watching SPL and things like that. The starts have been a bit different. Can't seem to find out what works best since the XP changes. And just changes to like the green buff and such. There's been just changes across the board here. And right now it looks like Asgard Okami are looking to start 3 on the left side of the map towards the duo side and pull speed, green, bat camps, and purple at some point. We'll see how many of those camps they decide to pull at a time. If I had to guess, they're probably going to pull 3 of them, but Might is stepping up here and gets a nice little ward there. Just good vision. Finds out where they're going to pull that purple. Are they going to pull it there where they can go for a steal or not later on, possibly, or just where jungle is going to be. But they are going to go for the full 4 pickup here, and we'll have to see how that pays off with the green buff having that HP 5. Over on the right side, pretty standard start for Beyond Plus Ultra from what we've seen thus far of the new starts. Seems to be the way to go. And it looks like 12 Gauge is just going to go ahead and grab the speed buff by himself here on the Ravana. Let them farm up on the right side, the duo side, and then on this left-hand side, they're going to pull the 3 camps together and just be under level 2 here. And they're going to get to wave earlier, actually, and I'm curious to see if Inside might decide to step up at this purple as it just drops, and they're just gonna let that happen. Now they're gonna, they will be the wave early. They're gonna be able to get all the creeps that they want here, and this is gonna force some good pressure in the duo side of the map for Asgard Okami here. We're gonna take a look at mid just for a second here. Sometimes you get an early fight here, but not too terribly often. As Daigo is over here popping off on the Hercules. Oh, great luck into the dash. Good for him that Slayer doesn't go under the tower there. Slayer could have been in a world of hurt if that had gone the other way. Want to see both ADCs going for the cowl build here. And Chiron in the mid going the ability-based build. Oh my goodness, but the Yu Huang picks up the kill. Vectors in 12 gauge kind of popping off in the mid lane here. We'll see, is it going to be followed up on the duo side? The pressure is on for Asgard Okami on the duo side. Really putting pressure on this Bastions. If your Yu Huang's getting an early kill like that, it's only going to get better from here. A god that, you know, really scales well into the late game is Yu Huang, and now having this possibility to start that scaling drastically earlier with that first blood gold, and just being able to really work on the power spike earlier on here with that gold here a bit. Now we see 12 gauge making the rotation back to mid, really keeping God Hand Hater, you know, relevant to the mid lane and not allowing them to push anywhere else on the map. Really and truly, that could be a little bit detrimental as they get some good poke off of on Cap here inside, and might have been doing a good job as 12 gauge is now over here on the shield buff. And I'm curious, can they bait something here? Look where God Had Hater is. God Had Hater is over here on these back camps. I don't know if a gank's going to come through sooner or later, but they're trying to get them to step up here. Cap and Intox are just not falling for the bait. Really good play here by the dual lane of Beyond Plus Ultra to not step up and do something too crazy. But now they're like, oh, there's no shot the jungler could be here. And 12 gauge shows face, and they immediately back off. And now we're back to the 1v1 between Vectors and Mr. Blizzard here. Mr. Blizzard does have good enough clear to keep up with this Yu Huang, and we'll be able to keep, you know, up in the farm of those minions. Vector's going to the red buff, and this looks like it's going to be a rotation here out of Mr. Blizzard over this purple buff side. The dash is already used. Asgard Okami's not going to know that, so the question is, will they go on Mr. Blizzard? And for now, they don't even know he's there. They end up backing off. Inside and might head back over the dual lane. 12 gauge going towards the green buff, just waiting on getting that farm as Vectors is in mid, getting the red buff. Dago is already level 5 on this Hercules, and Slayer says, I'm not stepping up to that. That doesn't sound like a good time. So Kerberos will wait for the wave and say, hey, I'm going to take this free farm while the Hercules isn't here to worry about. But knowing Daigo goes straight in, surprisingly doesn't throw the boulder. Oh, no, the boulder was already used. I was like, didn't throw the boulder on top of his head there. It is already gone. We just missed that interaction. Slayer is still in trouble here under this quarter health mark, and that's a scary place to be against this Hercules that could basically pluck driving strike you and then auto you to death. So Slayer will be back in here, and then we'll teleport back to the tower if I had to guess. But actually, no, teleport's down. Slayer is going to be having a rough time this lane. Daigo is just going to be popping off slowly but surely if I had to guess. As Inside gets the ult off there. It doesn't mean much, but the Baron ult puts him in the coffin. Life of the party. Intox wasn't feeling like being the life of the party for now, as Vectors has now made the rotation over here from the mid lane, and they're looking for something here. They're looking for Intox. The dueling dragons are there. Oh my goodness, and that's a lot of damage on Intox, and put down is the support for Beyond Plus Ultra, and a 2-0 lead here for Asgard Okami early on. And it's not just that, it's about 1,600 gold in their favor at 4 minutes and 41 seconds, and that's pretty impressive at this point in the game. Vectors with a huge rotation there from the mid lane, as both kills are on the mid laner for Asgard Okami. And if you're Vectors, you know, you already have Spirit Desolation online. Cooldowns are going to be feeling pretty good. And this Chiron's not too happy with the fact they haven't been able to get the Transcendence online. At least that's where I'm assuming they're building into. They could be going the route of Dominance here. Either one would be a good pickup. And that is God Hand Hater putting down the solo lane dive, looking for 12 gauge. They just picked up a kill on Slayer, but 12 gauge running around like a mad lad, ends up getting picked up there by God Handhater, and now looking for more, looking for Daigo. Mr. Blizzard is on the way over too, and I imagine that ult's coming through. No, is Mr. Blizzard, hello? Not gonna just Centaurus for the kill? I'm confused. And we'll pick up the blue buff here, but I'm just absolutely shocked they didn't look for the kill on Daigo there. I definitely think the ult could have been used, and they could have gotten absolute value out of that. As now Caps is in trouble here. Life of the party will be used again. Oh my goodness, the damage coming through inside. Now on the board. Asgard Okami pick up another kill here, and they're going to be able to pressure out these bastions and some damage on the tower, but they're looking for more. They want to deny the farm on the gold buff. They want to deny this purple buff. They are looking to steal away this farm if it is up for their taking. 12 gauge fighting Intox over by the green buff here. And Intox making the rotation, has had the green buff leashed to see does anything come of that. 12 gauge hunting. And they are going to look for the gold buff here. They want to deny the catch-up gold. They say, hey, we don't, care about the farm for ourselves. We care about denying the farm that you could get to come back into the game. Now inside, rotating back over. Clearing out this wave. Caps does have Blood Forge. Inside does need a back sooner rather than later at this point. And we are going to see the back come through. Intox was looking to possibly step up the shield buff, but lets it go. Now, Mr. Blizzard looking at Vectors here. Vectors gets a good dash. Oh my goodness, I don't think that was on purpose. And now it's a red buff fight for Mr. Blizzard and Vectors, and the shots come through. There isn't a kill though. There's the kill, but now 12 gauge is there. 12 gauge getting the root, looking at the damage. Mr. Blizzard is in trouble, but can Intox make it? There's the River's Rebuke. And 12 gauge will not be able to finish off that kill, unfortunately. And they'll have to walk away thinking of what could be. Inside getting aggressive on the Caps here. There is a level deficit. There comes the Fields of Love, but it's not going to do too much. Does slow down inside here. Inside looking just to poke out damage, not only on Caps, but also on this tower. And this tower is relatively low. Eats a couple tower shots there. Inside could be in a little bit of trouble, but backs off, and Caps isn't able to make use of anything more. Right now, you see a 2-level lead in solo for Daigo. 12 gauge is a little bit behind here on the Ravana end of this Thor, but even in mid, a little bit of a lead in support and a little bit of a lead in duo for Asgard Okami. You have to be feeling pretty good right now. It's up 2,200 gold or so, 2,600 gold, I guess. So that's a pretty significant chunk of change at 8 minutes in the game, and while they have worked on trying to do some snowball prevention with catch-up mechanics, when you start getting behind like this, it's going to be rough even using the catch-up mechanics to come back. And you're definitely going to be looking for shutdown gold here, and you're going to need to get a ward on this gold camp if you're Beyond Plus Ultra. That's your way back in, and right now they're not going to be able to use it. Oh, Caps being looked at here by 12 gauge and Might. 12 gauge goes in, misses the root. The damage is there. The life of the party comes through. Inside says, hey, you want to use those bees? They get it. Boom. Some would say Cupid got bored there, but others may not. Who knows? That's going to be a tower here for Asgard Okami in the duo lane side. Now with a pretty significant lead, they're going to be looking for a Gold Fury pull probably sooner rather than later. Assuming if they get this tower and possibly another pick, they're going to look for it. They do have to worry about the Thor ult. They do have to worry about the Centaurus with that, but I think those are small problems for them at this point. As we do see a different ADC builds here. One going for crit earlier on, then other going for what's going to be a Light Blade. Prophetic Cloak for both supports already. And it is a Transcendence online here for Mr. Blizzard. And surprising into a Fail Not. I'm actually surprised not to see the Vital Amplifier here for the Chiron, which has been kind of popping off in a lot of different areas of the game. Other than that, pretty similar builds here for the junglers to start off with. But now Ravana with the Blood Forge, while Thor with the Transcendence. It's going to be an interesting time here. And we do see a mitigation-esque build here for the Hercules thus far into the Tainted start. And Never going to see me complain about Tainted. I'm a little bit surprised to see the Corona's Pendant as the first item here for Slayer on this Kerberos, but at the same time, I get it. You want that cooldown. You want to be able to fight a little bit better, but not having that physical defense besides, you know, a little bit that you get from Tainted early on could be a little rough, and so far has been. Slayer under attack here, 2 levels down, has to use the ultimate. It's going to throw Daigo into the tower. It's not going to matter. Oh, the pluck off the mark, and I think that would have went a long ways. As now we see a grouping of all 4 from both teams here near the Gold Fury pit. Vectors is probably the furthest one away, but I don't know that that necessarily matters. They are looking to pull this Gold Fury. Asgard Okami says, hey, I want to either pull the Gold Fury or get a fight, and possibly both at the rate it's looking. There's the Coffin, pulling him in. Life of the party on the Intox. There's the River's Rebuke to kind of counter it. Dueling Dragons come through. Vectors puts down Intox. That's the first pickup here for Asgard Okami. Mr. Blizzard, God Hand Hater are still holding around this area, though. They're like, hey, we have the semi-global, or, you know, ranged ultimates that can steal this away and do some damage. So they're hovering around. 12 gauge working on zoning. But so far, this is all Asgard Okami in this fight, but now this could be problematic. Caps drops the Fields of Love, gets a Heart Bomb, and now 12 gauge has to sleep out, but the Centaurus is good. Thor Dunk is better, but doesn't get onto 12 gauge. 12 gauge just to walk away. And Asgard Okami is not able to do anything on the backside of this. They did get a pick earlier on in the fight, but now they have to just kind of walk away from Gold Fury, and this opens up the opportunity for Beyond Plus Ultra to take it. And that could be something that happens here. They are looking at it. All 5 are here, and they are going to step up, and they are going to work on burning this down. Vectors hovering, says, could I steal it? Could I steal it? There's the Kerber Assault. Beyond Plus Ultra confirms the Gold Fury, getting that first neutral objective of the game. But now Asgard Okami is on the chase inside, running into the whole enemy team. And this is a surprising push here by Asgard Okami as they steal away the green buff. And just say, that's cool. We're going to head over to the Pyromancer, if I had to guess. You have all 4 here. And actually, life of the party used on Intox again. Intox has just been the absolute target here for Asgard Okami. And so far, it has been worth dividends for them to take down the Yamoja. And now they take down a tier 1 tower in mid, and they are looking for Pyromancer next, and they will get it uncontested here. Might need to be careful, though. Could die.
Destroyed the Pyromancer.
Cupid is pushing this left lane, getting a good split push off here. Beyond Plus Ultra should pick up the tier 1 tower on the duo side of the map. And will. That'll be a nice little gold infusion there for the team. But you're talking about a, 3,700 gold deficit at the moment, and that is something to kind of talk about is, hey guys, like, we got the Gold Fury, that's really cool. Like, what can we do next? What can we do to bring us back into the game? And I think they need to look at who they can shut down here. They have shut down Vectors, they have shut down 12 gauge, and your next targets have to be looking at Inside and Might here. Haven't died yet, do have a considerable amount of assist at 4, and really that could go a long way in just taking them off the map if you could do that for Beyond Plus Ultra here. But the way that Asgard Okami is playing, I don't think that's going to be an option, as Inside finishes off the Executioner and starts building into another item in the Lightblade tree. I have to imagine it's going to be Kins. And Vectors already has the Rana Tahuti, very expensive build starting it off, but this power spike for the Yu Huang is going to be feeling really good. Daigo already has the Breastplate of Rebirth, which is always a good time. And Contagion here for Slayer. Transcendence is doing pretty good here for God Hand Hater, but, we'll have to see how that scales. Can you get those stacks in line fast enough? It is a fail not, as I talked about earlier, for Mr. Blizzard here, and really curious to see how that feels. I'm, again, really surprised to see this Chiron as a Field of Love comes through. But now, Life of the Party is even better. Intox in trouble yet again. Thor is up in the air. Who is the priority target here? And it's going to be Might, but are they going to be able to confirm the kill? Very low here. They finally get him. 12 gauge had stepped up to work on trying to save the support. And the question is, can they get out? And yes, they do. Good damage now by Vectors and inside. Daigo's behind. This is detrimental for Beyond Plus Ultra. This could be absolutely huge. Slayer's getting absolutely shredded down. Daigo is here. Slayer's going to be the first one to fall for Beyond Plus Ultra. That kill goes to Vectors. And now Intox gets pushed back by Daigo. They know that Intox is in trouble, but look at the low health bars of Mr. Blizzard. Godhand Hater. Caps is having to look at farm in the jungle. It's a second pickup here. Inside now 2-0-5 on the Kernanos. Doing work here. We see this Cupid going the more standard SPL build, going into Charge Blade, will next be a Demon Blade if I had to guess. But what I was talking about is the fact that Chiron has chosen not to go Vital Amplifier. If you have not used Vital Amplifier on Chiron, which is a healing item that gives you attack speed, which feels really, really good, you might want to go check that out. Might be something worth checking here. But as of right now, we haven't seen it built yet. And if this is the way the build's going, we probably won't see it. But my concern is for Intox here. The Intox has been very, very focused by Asgard Okami. Anytime out of position, they are just going on the emoji, looking to take it off the map as Mr. Blizzard gets driving striked into a wall. And luckily, we'll be able to dash and walk away. Asgard Okami showing their presence on this left side of the map. They want the Primal Fury, and, well, they're not going to make the same mistakes that they did last time. They drop a Runic Bomb on it, and they will confirm the pickup of the Primal Fury, getting that buff going for them, where they're going to be doing some more damage to jungle camps and objectives, and that's a dub at this point in the game. You're 17 minutes in, you have a 6,000 gold lead, and just have to play some clean smite. And the clean smite's going to start with definitely a fire. I have to imagine if I'm Asgard Okami, I am looking for a pick, hopefully two, and as soon as I get those two picks, I am going on this Fire Giant. I am looking to get this buff and start stripping away these tier 2 towers. If I am Beyond Plus Ultra, I am waiting for Asgard Okami to pull this Fire Giant, and I'm looking to counter engage on them. Get the farm off the map that you can. Make sure you're picking up your gold camp every time it comes up and has the little gold chest. Make sure you get all that. And then find out a way to counter engage on Fire Giant. Find a way to separate a carry and blow them up on this Thor. I mean, that's what this comes down to. You drafted this comp for Thor to be able to dive, get the backup of Yamoja, and then you have this Kerberos that can also kind of just be like, hey, there's a lot of you here. Let me pull you and get some damage off, burn some beads. So the comp and idea is good. It's the execution that's kind of keeping them behind at the moment. And really not just that. I mean, this gold lead is significant. Look at Hercules, right? Hercules versus Kerberos. You're almost a full item ahead. You're 2 levels up. You're 2 levels up in jungle. Well, you're also a full item ahead. So it's a drastic lead here for Asgard Okami as we see a Heartseeker come online. We see Divine Ruin now there. There's the Kins. I mean, this is a scary time as 12 gauge kills Caps under the tower there. See the Cupid soul flying off into the sky. And this is the go button now for Asgard Okami to say, hey, we're going to run across the map. We're not going to worry about these tier 2s right now. We want Fire Giant. And I have to make the assumption that they might just look for another pick before pulling this fire. And Vectors does exactly just that. Get some good damage off to Intox here. If they get another kill or they get a TKO, it's going to be massive for this team. Mr. Blizzard fighting against Daigo, and it's not going too well. Godhand Hater is up in the air. Dunks down to Daigo, but it's a little bit off the mark. Does get 12 gauge stunned out a little bit. And now there's the ultimate out of Slayer, but Slayer is paying the price of that ultimate and immediately gets taken down. Now on a 32-second respawn timer. It's going to be a little bit rough for the Kerberos. And like I said earlier, Asgard Okami looking for a pick, maybe 2 to start pulling the Fire Giant. But Beyond Plus Ultra said, man, forget that. We're going to show up and we're going to give you the business. And they are here. They're looking for something. Oh my god, Dueling Dragons hit Godhand Hater and hit 97% of his health is gone. Intox still here. Mr. Blizzard still here. Caps still here. I don't know for how long. Caps is in trouble. They do trace out 12 gauge here, keeping that damage out of the fight. Asgard Okami confirm the Fire Giant as Caps has to dash out. Now Mr. Blizzard There's the bees, but isn't going to be enough. Dry Strike's there. Fields of Love is there. Mr. Blizzard is one hit. There's the boulder, but it's off the mark by a hair on the chinny chin chin. And this could be a time for Beyond Plus Ultra to look for something. As Asgard Okami gets super aggressive here, they're going to drop everything. Peel some farm away. And then I'm assuming they might look for Gold Fury then back. But they should probably look for a tier 2 tower at some point. And it is going to be the tier 2 tower mid is what Asgard Okami is looking for. And it's getting killed slowly but surely. Vectors takes down Mr. Blizzard. Now 5, 1, and 3 on the Yu Huang. And Asgard Okami pathing through the enemy jungle. Stripping away the farm. Going straight to the Gold Fury that just respawned. I mean, if you want to talk about textbook plays, that's everything Asgard Okami's been doing this far. Is just writing the book on how to play this game with just a slight stumble about 10 minutes ago. Everything else has just been absolutely impeccable. Same group as 4, pushing this left-hand side. No one picks up the purple buff. It will stay there lonely. And now, Asgard Okami are pushing the tier 2 without a wave, mind you. They're just here. And Daigo's here too. Teleports in on the Hercules and says, hey, we could look for more if you guys want to. I'm here, and I want to fight. But instead, backs are rolling through here. And nothing to be ashamed of or unhappy with if you're the solo. You used your teleport, yeah. Is it on a longer cooldown? Yeah, but you made sure that if something went awry, you were there. And that's what really matters. Now we're kind of in this farming point. Here's the Pyromancer pool. Daigo doing it by himself. Intox Mr. Blizzard here, but I don't know if Mr. Blizzard knows. Alright, does figure it out that 12 gauge was schmooving on in there, looking to put down the damage. Another Pyro goes in favor of Asgard Okami. Now 12,000 gold ahead at 22 minutes. This is an insane amount of gold that is to be ahead at this point in the game. I'm actually quite surprised that they've been allowed to farm this efficiently. Still a ways off the next fire. Fire Giant's still active as a buff. Remember that it was 4 minutes previous patch. Now on 10.3, the Fire Giant buff only lasts for 3 minutes, which is going to make these sieges all the more important in making sure you get value off of your siege, whether it be TKOing people and getting a tower, just getting a tower, anything like that. Just making sure your Fire Giant pulls are worth it when it only lasts for 3 minutes. And that's huge. Slayer's ult's down. And for what? What did he get? Nothing. He didn't get anything out of 12 gauge there. He threw out an ult and backflip away. Some backs coming through here, but there's a 3-man grouping. Vectors inside Might looking to say, hey, what is it that Rossview is doing right now? Or sorry, Beyond Plus Ultra is doing right now. Ugh. And Asgard Okami playing this safe, but I like their grouping here. They've been slowly, they group as 5, go take camps real quick, regroup as 5. It's been pretty efficient thus far. Waiting on that next Fire Giant to come up, making sure they get all the farm they possibly can here. And they will be back on the way to this respawn Fire Giant. And after this one, I mean, I think they could probably pull it here. They want a beta fight with Beyond Plus Ultra yet again. And if they do, and they get a pick, it's going to be huge. But Daigo's over here by himself. I don't know if he knows the Cupid's over here. Oh, 100% he knows the Cupid's here. Is Cupid backing? No way. Oh my god, Caps is a mad lad staying there. I think this could be absolutely detrimental here for Beyond Plus Ultra. There's the Heart Bomb, there's the stun, but now the passive isn't up. Intox, again, the life of the party has just been the bane of the existence of the Emoja. The Emoja is killed yet again as Mike picks up the 8th assist here on this Baron, and I think at least 4 or 5 of them have literally just been, hey, life of the party, the Emoja, and boom, you get a kill. Absolute insanity here. And a Fire Giant goes the way of Asgard Okami yet again. And we went off the board here. they're just going to run it down if I had to guess. You just pick your lane and take all 5 there. As God Hand Hater has to go up in the air, has to dunk back towards the Phoenix. Ult's gone, and a TKO it is on God Hand Hater. Now Asgard Okami are able to group up, and they're looking at the mid Phoenix here. 5v5 should be the play here. You do have to be a little bit worried. Might doesn't have his ult, so now they're pathing to the left side. Chiron looking for some free damage, doesn't get it. And the question is, Vector is looking for some damage here. Might and 12 gauge under the mid tier 2. There's the River's Rebuke. Fields of Love as well. A lot of ultimates used here by Beyond Plus Ultra. And the question is, are they going to get anything for it? There's a third ultimate use. It's Slayer popping the Kerberos ult again, and I don't know that matters. Dueling Dragons come through. That's a lot of damage on the God Hand Hater. Cupid is gone too. Caps is dead. All 5 members of Asgard Okami are up. They're taking down the mid Phoenix. They have a wave with them. They can fight here, and they can also look for the left Phoenix if they want. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to strip away the Phoenixes slowly but surely of Beyond Plus Ultra. Now they're going to clear camps and wave. I'm a little bit surprised of not to see them path straight over to the right side Phoenix. I think if they go straight to the right side Phoenix, they probably get it. You have 2 members still down for Beyond Plus Ultra. It would have been a 5v3. But they said, hey, we want the Primal Fury. And we got Fire Wish. Now, as 5, they're going to run over here. I imagine the Pyromancer. They're not willing to give up any objectives, if I had to guess. And now, wait, look what Daigo's doing. Daigo says, man, you guys want that red buff really bad, huh? Driving strikes them away, picks up the red buff. The invade is good. Mr. Blizzard in trouble, eats a Herc Boulder. There's Slayer with another ultimate, but is it going to be enough to save anything? Oh my goodness, Dueling Dragons off the mark, but not so much off the mark that Intox is going to get to live. In fact, Mr. Blizzard dies on the back end. Intox is somehow still alive, now taken out. God Hand Hater has to beat, almost dies as well, and now it's Slayer, the next one in trouble. 7, 1, and 6, and 7, 1, and 8 for the jungle in mid of Asgard Okami here. But still, the ADC has also gone undying at 3, 0, and 9. They are now looking at the Titan. They need to clear this minion wave in mid. They want this free damage. Go ahead and get it. God Hand Hater going up. Fields of Love is out. Who is he going to dunk on? They dunk on inside, but it's not enough damage. Inside somehow lived and then dies. God Hand Hater dies to minions, and it's a fire wave on the Titan. Might and Daigo, the 2. Oh my god, Vectors picks up a kill there, that late deicide against Beyond Plus Ultra, and that will be game Asgard Okami for game number 1. Titan picking up a kill there at the end of the game. That's still pretty good for the Titan. Daigo, absolute mad lad, going 0-0 and 11 on the Hercules. What a time. What a time. Let's hop into game number 2 in just a second. We're going to look over some of these stats real quick, talk about a couple things. I think the thing I'm surprised about here is this is not the order we've been seeing this build in for Inside, but obviously it just works. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this build. Might perfectly fine. I'm really surprised Vectors was able to get away with buying Ratatouille's second item. It obviously popped off. The investment was worth it. Daigo goes the 0-0 and 11 perfect stat line here, going a little bit of mitigations, but also, you know, picking up just some good prots altogether here. And then 12 gauge popping off on the Ravana. As I mentioned earlier, I'm kind of confused by this Chiron build. Not exactly sure what the plan was here. I'm surprised if you're picking Chiron if you're not building Vital Amplifier. I mean, I think that item is just really, really good right now, and especially on Chiron, it kind of goes hard. Then for the Thor, I mean, nothing wrong with the Thor. Thor played pretty well. Kerberos, I think having to go this damage / cooldown item early really kind of hampers you, especially against this Hercules who's going to be able to boulder you and push you back over and over and over again. I get the idea, but was it worth it? I'm not so sure. Intox, I mean, this was their target. Asgard Okami, anytime they had a chance to kill the Emoja, they took it every single time. And unfortunately for Caps, I mean, this is the typical ADC build we've been seeing, and it's just didn't pay off this time as the Cupid. I mean, the damage numbers say it all, really. And your jungler not placing any wards is a little bit of a problem here for Beyond Plus Ultra. But that was game number 1 of Asgard Okami versus Beyond Plus Ultra. We're going to hop straight into game number 2. We're going to make sure to fix our spectator real quick. I think we have picks and bans this time around, so that will be good. Because we can discuss what's going on. So we have Asgard Okami as the red team this time around, and as the blue team... we have Beyond Plus Ultra. Shout out to My Hero Academia fans. It is 0-1 the score currently. As the first 2 bans here are going to be Sasano and Afro. The Lovebirds have been banned. They will not be able to play this game together. And honestly, not too surprised here to see Afro banned. Just absolutely OP right now. You can't really let that god through in ranked or comp, I don't think. Obviously, you're going to see it in casuals because you don't have a choice. Sasano has been pretty good as a jungler as of late. Has a lot of what you want here. Has, you know, some good CC, good damage, and you pair that with an Afro, it kind of goes burr. Beyond Plus Ultra are going to ban out the Thor this time around. They said, hey, we're not going to play it, and we don't want to give her a 12 gauge. So they're going to ban it away here. And not a bad ban, honestly. Mercury being banned here by Asgard Okami, another god that I don't like to see in my games either. Has the ability to ult down the lane and crit you to death, run you down. Just not a fun time. And they said, hey, we don't want Daigo on that Hercules again. So we're going to ban it away. He went 0-11. That was a problem. Let's get rid of it. Smart ban here. And the last ban for Asgard Okami is banning away the Hibwa, which, you know, flex pick for mid and jungle. Does a lot of damage. If you didn't watch the Pagon's Ultimates from this past weekend over in the SPL kickoff tournament, you're missing out and you should go check it out. 3-man, ults feels pretty good. But this opens up Guan Yu for Beyond Plus Ultra, and Guan Yu is just good right now. They changed his heal, allows a 1-second cooldown for your allies that are in it. That kind of busted. But Asgard Okami says, hey, that's fine. We're going to take the Yu Huang again. Just insta-lock the Yu Huang for vectors. And now they debate what they want to take next. It's going to be a Terra this time for Might. And honestly, I like the Terra. Terra is a good pick here. I think you have the lockdown that Terra provides. And it doesn't even matter, you know, what ADC and stuff you're locking in right now. Just the pressure that Terra provides and the threat level of a stun coming through, and you just get instantly killed by this Yu Huang later on in the game, or you get instantly killed by your ADC later on in the game. I mean, there's some options here that could definitely be scary with Terra in the comp. And this leaves, for Beyond Plus Ultra, they have to go, okay, like, what's going to counter Terra? Do we look to take our mid and support here? Are we taking mid and carry, support and carry? What are we looking at? I'm kind of curious to see what they prioritize to get before the next set of bans, because I think that goes a long way in what you feel comfortable with playing as a team. And it's going to be a Sylvanas lock-in. Sylvanas with some changes in 10.3, allowing his Wisps to heal and damage ally and enemy minions, to see how that goes. At least I think that's, I remember how I read it, but you know, I could be slightly wrong on that. If you want to go check out patch notes for 10.3, there's a patch notes breakdown which I recorded. You can go, and if you're watching this on YouTube, you can just go check out the patch notes breakdown playlist, and it's there. And Beyond Plus Ultra decide to lock in the Bakasura, who got a major buff to eat minion. But I am really surprised to see this in comp. I'm wondering what is the plan here. And I honestly don't necessarily have the answer. I mean, you can run somebody down, you can shred them down. But man, that's an interesting pick to lock in at this point in the draft. I feel like maybe that's something you save for second phase. You kind of want to see who their ADC is going to be. Really, really surprised to see Bakasura picked up here. And do they really think that he was going to get banned? That's kind of what I'm wondering. And Hades, a great pick into this Bakasura, really can just eliminate the whole ultimate. And now you just have to think about a lot here. I'm really curious now. Ishtar being banned here by Asgard Okami, and honestly, great ban. I think Ishtar, honestly, I think Hunters are just in a much better spot since 10.3 released. I don't want to go as far as say like they're OP to best rule, but I think they're in a much better spot as far as Hunters go. I think Mage ADCs got evened out. We haven't seen as many of those played at all. But Ishtar and Jingwei both like crit, and they both shred well. So not surprised to see both of them banned out here by Asgard Okami. But Beyond Plus Ultra said, hey, 12 gauge, we're not giving you a Humbat or a Neja either. You're going to have to play something a little bit different. And he's okay with that. He said, cool, we'll go and lock in this Rama for inside. And Rama, again, another god that feels absolutely great as a hunter. And we're going to let our jungler counterpick and get what he wants into the rest of your comp here. So Beyond Plus Ultra now have to ask themselves, is there something else that we need? And what is it? What is it that we want here? We have good CC from the Guan Yu. We have healing. We have good CC from the Sylvanas as long as you're hitting the Plucks and the ultimate. It's a good knockup. We have Bakasura that has a cripple with his ultimate and really can just run at people and shred them down if given the opportunity. And it's going to be a Hachiman here for Caps, which is a very safe hunter pick. And then Discordia. And honestly, the Discordia pick here could absolutely be insane. Just the passive that Discordia provides for the rest of our team goes a long way. So I'm curious to see how this plays out now for Beyond Plus Ultra. You have your tanks have a good amount of CC. You have this Discordia with Strife, and obviously Golden Apple's going to go pretty far here, but it's nothing too insane. We just have to see what is the pick going to be for jungle for Asgard Okami. What do they think will shut down one or many of the picks on Beyond Plus Ultra? And it looks like they're like, what's really cool is just being able to 2 out of Sylvanas ult or 2 out of, any of the damage we want to. And they're going to put 12 gauge back on the Ravana as we head into game number 2 of Asgard Okami versus Beyond Plus Ultra. This is part of the Albion Giants Sharrix division as we head into our last week of regular season play, and then we'll be in the playoffs. So make sure to stay tuned for playoff announcements of casting. I'm sure there will be cast announcements for that by Albion Giants League in the near future. I'm curious to see what is the build plan on the, for these solo laners again. We do see a difference already in ADC. Enside says, hey, I am going to go the Death Toll, probably into a Bloodforge, while Caps said, yeah, I'm going to go the Leather Cowl into what's going to end up being a Bloodforge as well. I'm curious to see what is the start going to be here for the duo side here. Are they going to do the same thing they did last game for Asgard Okami? Are they switching up their starts? What feels best to them? But overall, looking pretty similar on both sides of the supports. There is a difference between Sentinel's Embrace and the Benevolence. So we'll have to see how that pays off here in a minute or two. And while we wait, I'm going to go grab some water. And it looks like Asgard Okami are going to go for the same start here. They are going to look to start 3 on the duo side here, like they did last time. So they're going to split up their farm, basically the same as last game. Same thing for Beyond Plus Ultra here. Not looking to change too much up, and really to stick with the same type of farming here. So let's see how that proves out. Last game there was a slight lead for the first like couple minutes, but for God Hand Hater, but not too crazy much. So I don't think anything too crazy is going to happen here. But right now, Might has eaten a ton of damage on this Terra, about half health. But look at this. This is a different setup than we saw from last time. The question is, does Daigo know that God Hand Hater's there on the Bakasura? Bakasura already level 2 here, but Daigo also already level 2. And now is just going to back. Very strange idea here. What was the plan? What just happened? I don't really fully understand the going back there. But that seems to be the move here for Beyond Plus Ultra, is sing the jungler back and he can go get his speed buff. But a very, very odd path in here that's come across. Now Blink in on the Blizzard. The root is good. And the beads is good too by Blizzard. But man, let me tell you, that's a lot of damage to be eaten. You get a full beads out now. 12 gauge is ready to go. That's going to be a definite thing to watch over the coming minutes here. As God Hand Hater is on this Bakasura now in mid. But like I mentioned, just a very strange setup there at the beginning of the game to go over to solo lane and then just back right afterwards. Seems like they had a plan and it just did not work out, unfortunately. And now we're going to see Inside and Might start to push forward here, trying to get some of this aggression back that they had from last game. Will it happen? I'm not 100% sure here. I do think Sylvanas Hachi is a pretty good lane for damage and sustain. I mean, Hachi's passive allows him to keep mana up all the time. Intox is going to be able to heal all the time, so very, very, very strange. But now look at this. 12 gauge comes through. There it is. A root comes through. Oh, the Mike has a great... They're body blocking the oh my goodness. Intox is put down. Body blocking. Collapsing of walls. Just roots the whole 9. Just absolutely perfectly played there by Asgard Okami, shutting down Intox yet again. And that, like I mentioned last game, that seems to be their point of focus, is taking down the support of Beyond Plus Ultra. They pressure out the support and they look for more afterwards. They pressure out the support, they look for more afterwards. And that has consistently been working throughout the first game, and it appears to be what they want to do in game number 2, as Asgard Okami already off to about 1,000 gold lead. And I mean, that's from first blood mostly, but still, that's a scary time here at 3 minutes in after what happened last game, where they scaled and started running pretty quickly into a snowball. We're going to clear the wave here, and then Asgard Okami. The question is, are they going to go for a Bastion, or are they going to go for their purple? And they're going to go straight to purple. The wise move there. As Beyond Plus Ultra said, hey, we'll forget the wave. We're going to go ahead and grab our purple. We're going to play a little bit safer, because we're afraid that if we step up right now, it's not going to go so well. Daigo, being an absolute menace on this Hades, is just playing at the tower line of Slayer here. Daigo, you know, staying here and poking out the Guan Yu. Kind of what you want to do as a Hades. And Hades is one of those gods that's kind of annoying to play against. I'm actually surprised that Slayer decided to go into Warding Sigil here and not pick up Tainted Steel into this Hades, because I think that just goes hard. And there's an ultimate from Daigo. Cancels it, dashes in, gets a couple autos off, but not enough to slow things down to where 12 gauge could get there and get a gank going. But look at this. God Hand Hater is here. I don't know if they caught the back of 12 gauge or not. It appears that they didn't. Slayer is just going to keep getting ran at under the tower here. Over on the duo side of the map, Might gets picked up here by Caps. Really good play there by the Hachiman Sylvanas combo. He's able to get a force off and some other damage and really focus out the support. And that's been, you know, our Asgard Okami's game plan is to take down the support of Beyond Plus Ultra, and it makes you wonder if that's what's going to be the plan of Beyond Plus Ultra against Asgard Okami as the blink comes through. Now up in the air is Inside, hitting all 3 snipes. 12 gauge just has to finish off the kill. And instead, no, he doesn't again. I thought Inside almost got it, but now Intox is here looking to try to get some type of damage off on the Inside and put him down, but Intox falls yet again. And it's a rotation here. I mean, everybody was here for Asgard Okami, and I would not be surprised if this is an early Gold Fury. As they have 4 members here, it would be a little bit tough, but with a Terra that could heal, I could see it happening. They decide to say, nah, what Blaze is talking about is absolutely crazy. We are not going to Gold Fury at 5 minutes. And honestly, it's probably the right choice, but would have been cool to see nonetheless. As 12 gauge and Might are over here looking for a green buff invade. I thought they might be going on caps there for a second. They decided to let it go. It is a Bloodforge online here for Inside. Already 2-0 on this Rama. So going to go and run and pick up his purple buff. And then worry about things after that in the typical ADC fashion. You can't go wrong with getting a Bloodforge and chilling in your lane for a little bit, getting some farm up. Daigo's been just kind of bullying and keeping the tower at this, or the wave at this tower. Slayer just not really able to do much here. And a full level down, and these minions are just getting chunked down by towers. And honestly, that doesn't feel too good. There's the fear, there's the damage, the ult comes through, it's not enough, but 12 gauge picks up a kill onto Caps, and now Godhand Hater is under 50% health. They are looking for him too. Might is here though. Is Intox going to fall again? The answer is no. But you have to think about the lead that Asgard Okami has, is once this itemization gets a little bit more in their favor, this Gold Fury definitely is coming off the map with the way they're playing the duo side of the map. This duo lane's been under a lot of pressure here by Asgard Okami, focusing out the support and the carry here. And now, Might steps up and says, hey, oh my goodness, Godhand Hater shows up just in time to confirm the chests, at least, for the team. Now Might getting chased out here by the Bakasura. This is what Bakasura does well, but Dueling Dragons comes through, does a ton of damage. And now 12 gauge looking for the kill. It's a blink out by Godhand Hater. They got the relic they wanted. Now the clap onto Intox. And this is where things get a little bit scary. Intox, oh my goodness, is being looked at again. Body blocked to the wall. All 4 members of Asgard Okami said, nah, better not. And a great strife comes through by Mr. Blizzard, but it's just not enough. It can't stop them from what they're wanting to do. And what they want to do is shut down the Sylvanas. They do not want to let Beyond Plus Ultra have a support to play the game with. And so far, they've been doing a pretty good job of it. Now, over on the duo side of the map, Inside, under pressure, is able to get away from Caps here on the Hachiman, some way, somehow. But then you had Godhand Hater over here on the Bakasura. Inside, a mad lad decides to step up to this and makes the better judgment call and to not walk into a, assassin while you're under 50% health, because I'm pretty sure that just doesn't go well for you. But look at where Daigo is. Daigo was considering going on the red buff there against Blizzard, but backs off, heads back to lane. And Slayer is there. Slayer is not currently under the tower, which probably feels pretty good. And Daigo's going to go for a blue buff and really try to bait Slayer into, staying out. Maybe they could get a kill on this Guan Yu. Nope. Says, hey, totem's pretty important. I'm going to leave that there until my jungler go elsewhere. Bye-bye. And that's the story, and we're sticking to it. Intox wants to step up here, but Asgard Okami is not going to let that happen. If they spot off Intox, Intox is going to be having a bad time. I'm thoroughly convinced that they want that support dead at all times. Sylvanas, whatever. Oh my goodness, they might stole away the chest there, and there's going to be no gold going the way of Beyond Plus Ultra. And now they're playing this left side of the map again, keeping pressure on the duo side. 4 members of Beyond Plus Ultra over here. It's a 3v4, and now you have Might backing. Inside's going to have to play pretty carefully here, but 12 gauge is hovering around mid. Vectors is hovering around mid. But now 12 gauge realizes, oh man, they just walked up behind me. Hits the root on Godhand Eater, but the pool and ult are better by Intox. There's the two we were talking about. There's the cripple. It doesn't matter because dueling dragons come through and just push and kill all the minions for Godhand Eater. And then Inside goes up into the Rama ult looking for damage. Doesn't confirm much, but it does scare them off. And now this should be a free Gold Fury for Asgard Okami, who already have a 3,000 gold lead, and that's just going to become more here at a little over 10 minutes of the game. Link in by Daigo here, looking for the kill on the Intox, and Intox is again the target they're looking for. And they pick him up again. Intox is having a rough time here against Asgard Okami. Oh my goodness, Might putting on a clinic on this Terra, getting another root, with looking for another kill, but they'll force back Godhand Hater and really just making absolute use out of TKOs and forcing them out, saying, hey, we're going to poke you out, you're going to have to back, you're not going to be able to get any damage off, and it's going to be unfortunate for you. They've been doing pretty good on that front. Sitting now at a 4,000 gold lead for Asgard Okami. And what gets scary about this for Beyond Plus Ultra is, you're talking that they're, almost 2 full items in. Well, they are. I mean, almost, but working on being further than that ahead. And that becomes scary if you're Beyond Plus Ultra. You have to find something here. Your goals are to shut down this Ravana or shut down Inside on this Rama. I'm not sure they're going to be able to get to either of them particularly easily, as Inside's able to buy time here with the ultimate anytime it's needed, and just put out damage. I mean, you're looking at Death Toll, Bloodforge, Demon Blade. I mean, it's going to be feeling pretty good, as might be a fight over the Pyromancer here. There's the horrific, but there's the dash in by Daigo. This 4v3 now. There's the Hades ult. Vectors picks up 1 kill. There's the dueling dragons looking for more. And there it is. Slayer is now off the map, and they look for Godhand Hater. Not going to find him, but they might find Mr. Blizzard here on the Discordia. And I think they do. Really great zoning there by 12 gauge to push the Discordia back into the team. And now the only ones left up are the Hachiman and the Bakasura, as Sylvanas just respawned. Inside falls to a solo kill by Caps there. And it did not look particularly close according to the charts. That is wild. Godhand Hater will fall to Asgard Okami as they pick up the Pyromancer and the bomb. Daigo is over here looking to put some pressure on the solo lane. If we're looking at these level leads, I mean, it's a 4-level lead for Daigo right now on this Hades. It's a 3-level lead for 12 gauge on the Ravana. Mid is even. 2-level leads for Might on the Terra. And a level deficit for Inside here. So, Caps being the shining teammate right now for Beyond Plus Ultra. Just playing really, really well in this Hachiman. Trying to stay in the game. And doing a pretty good job doing so. Slowing down of the game here by Asgard Okami. And they are waiting for this Oni Fury to respawn here, and it should be, I don't know, up soon, probably in the next minute here. And Asgard Okami really want that. It's going to force lane pressure and allow them to pull fire pretty soon. I think that's probably what they're going to be looking for. They're not even going to look for picks here. They're going to force a fight at gold. 12 gauge positioning here is just really, really good. Intox, oh my goodness, this gets blown up on the Sylvanas yet again. And that's not good. Mr. Blizzard's gone. It's a 2-for-0. And now Asgard Okami are going to get the Gold Fury they want. It's this free Oni Fury here. And if anybody steps up, I think they probably die. 12 gauge with great positioning here. Looking for a way to get somebody if they step up. I mean, you have You have the ultimate in, you have the blink if you need it, but really and truly, at this point in the game, you're almost 7,000 gold down, about 6,500, and that's going to be hurting if you're Beyond Bliss Ultra. You're doing everything you can to try to fight into them, and it's just, you can't. The level deficits are too much. The itemization is too much. I mean, you're talking about they're pushing a tier 2 with no wave right now in mid, and they're probably going to get it. The 4v5 and boom, the tier 2 tower is gone, because guess what? Our runic bomb just did a ton of damage to it. Now Oni waves are coming, and you haven't even had to deal with those yet. They're pushing all the lanes, and this is a scary, scary time here for Beyond Plus Ultra. You have Asgard Okami doing whatever they want currently. And now Entox is here, but Entox does not need to be anywhere near someone 5 levels up on him. 0-6 right now on the Savannah. It's just not feeling great. Asgard Okami looking to reset, go back, buy some itemization here. Again, we see Vectors with this Raw Tahuti second item into the Divine, but the Hades here, you know, are Doom Orbs, Spear Deso, Polynomicon, basically full damage here. Is not a guy you want to fight, you know? I mean, really, it's gonna hurt. And if I had to guess, this is about the time they're gonna look for a pick here. Oh my goodness, Mr. Blizzard gets a lot of damage off on a Daigo here. Oh, this could be it. That could be a kill for them. As the Bakasura goes in, does pick up a kill, but dies in the process. Might pick up the kill on God Hand Hater. They did lose the Soul Inner, but they lost their jungler too. Now Slayer is getting chased on this Guan, and it's not pretty as 12 gauge went onto the Discordia. Blizzard has to Aegis and try to live here. It's not going to be enough. 12 gauge picks up a kill. The Dueling Dragons come through. Caps at least trades at a kill as Vector picks up another. It is 3-4-2 in favor of Asgard Okami here, and Intox is here looking, trying to survive and keep Caps alive. Caps goes back in, and Vector says, goodbye, get out of my game. And now it's Inside that's here, and Inside, what are you doing? Inside, hello? Oh my goodness, Inside trolling the team there, and definitely could have poked slash, you know, just walked under the tier 2 tower there as his teammate and minions took damage. But now it's a Fire Giant pull here by Asgard Okami with only 3 up. Yes, Daigo heading all the way, but Vectors is doing Pyro, and that's going to be the call. As Mike goes in against the Bakasura. Bakasura is the same level here as the Terra, and that is not going to feel great as Daigo goes in. Intox in trouble here. 7 levels up as Daigo to the enemy support and just takes down the Sylvanas here. At this point, Beyond Plus Ultra trying to find any way they can back into the game, and I respect it. I mean, you have to try to do something. And that last little skirmish there, they did pick up some kills. It's going to give them some gold and XP into their pockets. It's going to feel pretty good, but at this point, Asgard Okami are looking for a Fire Giant sooner rather than later. And you're talking about there's already a tier 2 off the map. They want to win this game, and I have a feeling it's probably coming soon. To see Beyond Plus Ultra, they have Cap split pushing on the left hand side a little bit, and I don't know that Caps has the idea that 12 gauge is there. They will now though, because 12 gauge is walking up and clearing the way. Caps is looking for any farm possible, is level 18, the highest level on their team, so that has to feel pretty good here. But Primal Fury's back up, and Asgard Okami said, hey, we want to be able to do more damage to camps and objectives. And that's exactly what they're going to do. And this Primal Fury will fall for free to Asgard Okami here. 8,300 gold in the lead. As Daigo's stepping up, looking to fight somebody. Did just finish a Rada Tahuti here. So the damage for this Hades is going to be pretty massive. Inside, crossing mid, a little bit late. Has Caps following behind. I don't know if they caught that out. Now they do know. They know where the where the Hachi is. And Asgard Okami turn to burn the Hachi. Are they going to catch it? I don't know. It doesn't look like it. Daigo does get a little bit of poke off, though. And great position here by Asgard Okami. They're going to be able to flank if they want to. The problem is Caps. Caps is their problem here. Because Caps is going to split push a tier 2 tower for free as Daigo gets caught out in a 1v4, does a ton of damage, but it's not enough to live and get a kill off of. Instead, will die. And if you're Asgard Okami, that's not exactly what you want to see. And you're losing your tier 2 tower on the duo side of the map. And this is rough, to say the least. 12 gauge has back, though. They are going to be able to make sure that they don't get a Phoenix for free. But inside, 3 levels down now to Caps. Caps has been farming it up and just hit level 20 on this Hachiman. That's huge. I mean, Caps now the highest level in the game on this Hachi just from split pushing and prioritizing farm over team fights. And sometimes that's what you have to do as a carry. And this should be feeling really good right now. You have the Charge Blade, the Demon Blade. The question is, are they going to go Kins or Exi here? I mean, imagine as they pick up the tier 2. It's probably going to be Kins if I had to guess, but I could be wrong. Could be Exi. I'm just surprised that Asgard Okami has not looked for a pick to pull fire yet. They've been playing a little bit more cautiously than normal. Probably to do with Daigo jumping in and fighting 1v4 there a few minutes ago. But that's beyond the point. Pyromancer being pulled here by Asgard Okami. They decide to drop it and let it go. And now it'll be pulled as the whole team's there. And Daigo goes in. Caps is in trouble. Caps has to beads and ult away. Oh my goodness. Inside looking for the snipes. Isn't going to pick them up. And now Godhand on this Bakasura is doing some work as Slayer rides the horse in, trying to get some damage off. But look at this. 12 gauge fighting a 1v2 against Godhand Hater and Mr. Blizzard as Inside picks up a kill on the Slayer. It's now a 1-for-1. You have Caps and Intox pushing the right side tier 2, and they will back, and that's probably a wise decision. I think if they get caught out there at that point, the game's kind of just over. We do need to talk about vectors on this Yu Huang. Now 3-0-10, had an absolute impeccably good performance last game. Following it up this game with the same type of performance, just really popping off on this Yu Huang here. And Beyond Plus Ultra are looking to get some wards up. They're looking to try to stay relevant at fire. They want to try to defend this. They've been holding Asgard Okami here for a good amount of time this game. Playing better into it than last game, but there is 2 runic bombs here for Might, and that's going to be pretty important here. Also, Intox is only level 12. And if you're level 12, 23 minutes into the game, you're probably not having a blast. As the Horrific comes through, there's the Cripple Field for Godhand Hater, and they got what they wanted there. They Horrific, they got 2 ultimates. Oh my goodness, and Vectors picks up a kill in mid on Mr. Blizzard in a 2v2, and Caps has to leave. The carries for Beyond Plus Ultra feeling a little bit down right now. Now, Asgard Okami still looking for a way to break open this game the rest of the way. They're about 6,000 gold up, so there's a 2,000 gold swing in favor of Beyond Plus Ultra currently. But Asgard Okami need a way to bust this game open. They're looking to try to get, 1 to 2 picks, maybe more, if it presents itself, and then pick up a Fire Giant. But as of right now, that just hasn't happened. So they have to decide, who are they going to focus here? Daigo's been kind of going in as a solo agent in these fights. I think if they can surround Daigo with at least 12 gauge or somebody else, they will be able to just kind of end the game off of that. But look at this. Asgard Okami are just going to pull Fire Giant because Beyond Plus Ultra just aren't there. Caps looking to step up, but there's nothing there. Fire Giant just goes down to Asgard Okami for free. There was just no type of response, and it's not like they didn't know. Beyond Plus Ultra was very aware. Caps had vision on it, And now, Asgard Okami go pushing down the solo side of the map. They're looking directly at this tier 2, and I imagine a Phoenix directly thereafter as they have a wave with them. Mr. Blizzard, Godhand Hater, are going to have to back sooner rather than later, I'd imagine, as Caps looks to go in on 12 gauge, but you can't do much as your tier 2 tower just got melted and destroyed. And now Asgard Okami said, hey, we're not even worried about getting the wave in yet. Slayer goes in on the horse looking for the stun, but it doesn't matter as the Phoenix is going to get burned, and so does Slayer. Inside picks up a kill. Inside now up in the air. The snipes are raining through from the Rama, and there it is. The Disco ult is good, but not good enough for a kill. Daigo is zoning off damage, now eating a ton of damage himself. 12 gauge going absolutely ham in this team fight. Intox in trouble. Mr. Blizzard already down. Vector somehow doesn't get the kill on Godhand Hater there after just hitting a ton of damage. But now you have to ask yourself, your Asgard Okami, can we stay? And I don't think the answer is yes. You have a lot of low health bars, but they're hovering around. Vectors is here full health, pokes out some damage, but it's not much. The pull is good there by Intox, but it doesn't result in anything. Again, Intox level 14 here at 25 minutes in the game just isn't able to do everything they want to do on this Sylvanas. And now it's Caps stepping up, stepping ahead, and that's a dangerous way to play ADC. Take it from me, I do that a lot. And now you have Intox, this blinks in, gets some damage off, and now Slayer back on the horse. Cavalry charge comes through, and they charge onto the gray screen as Diego puts him down, and Asgard Okami continues this onslaught on to Beyond Plus Ultra, stretching the gold lead here now to 9,000 gold. And not just that, they are looking for another tier 2 tower in this power play, and they are going to find it. There's a fire wave pushing the right side, and they have to ask themselves, do we want to go for another Phoenix? And the answer is no. They are going to look at a Gold Fury as Daigo nearly dies to the Gold Fury by trying to pull it solo, and that Gold Fury will now fall down in the favor of Asgard Okami, as the gold lead stretches now to 12,000 gold. Asgard Okami, one Phoenix down. Beyond Plus Ultra looking for a way to get the farm they need to get back into this game and make it where it's just about gold and not about XP, but also a way to defend. What is the best way for them to defend the map state at this point? And the answer is, I'm not 100% sure. The pulls have been sick. I understand the cavalry charges, but you have to be able to get stuns that set up the Bakasura, that set up the Disco and the Hachiman. And the question is, are they going to be able to do that on the next defense? And I think it's going to be very hard. The one thing in Beyond Plus Ultra's favor is Fire Giant buff is now off Asgard Okami. That 3-minute buff timer is drastically different than the 4-minute one, and allowing that, forced 3-minute, hey, you need to do things a little bit more quickly than normal, leaves a little bit of time here where you don't have to worry about a Fire Giant buff. Maybe you feel more comfortable fighting against that, but I don't know if you feel comfortable trying to defend a Fire Giant against Intox. Getting ran at here by Might. Intox has been the target almost every single time Asgard has had the opportunity to target somebody. They've found him. Daigo is on the left side with split pushing a little bit. Fire Giant will be spawning in about 15 seconds. Asgard Okami isn't here yet. They're going to let them push up here if they want to. Inside, roaming back. Daigo's here. Daigo going to show face on the right-hand side here. Going to know Sylvanas is back. But 4 members of Asgard Okami are on the Fire Giant. They're not going to wait for it to go enhanced. They could wait the extra minute. They're not going to. They said, we want this Fire Giant, and we want it now. And here they are. Daigo is up here looking to fight a little bit with Slayer. Gets a little bit of poke off. Nothing too crazy, as all the other members of Asgard Okami are running it down towards this solo side bird that just respawned. And this should almost instantaneously fall here. Or not, because the carries are not there with them. I spoke a little bit too soon. There it goes, inside. Gets good damage off. Mr. Blizzard has been hitting some very good strifes. It's just not enough to get a really good, amount of damage off, but they have been getting that little bit of CC off. Maybe it forces out of beads and gives an optimal play here for Beyond plus Ultra, but right now it is looking a little dire. Now, as I just remember, we have 3 minutes on this Fire Giant left. I mean, they're just going to play it out. They're waiting for that Fire Wave to push it on the right-hand side. That's going to be kind of their go button here for Asgard Okami. They now know a response had to be made to that Fire Wave, and they immediately go on the middle Phoenix. There's the ultimates coming through for Sylvanas, Slayer as well, and now you have, oh my goodness, Daigo puts down Godhand Hater along with Inside shredding Slayer. Slayer having to get out, and it looks like it might be able to. No. There's the fear. Intox is now the one in trouble. Beyond plus Ultra's Titan is under attack. There's the double kill for Diago on this Hades. It comes down to Caps. Can Caps turn it around? Oh my goodness. The triple kill for Quadra for Mr. Blizzard. Just going absolutely ham on the Discordia here. Holy. Hits in a nut strife and then follows it up with a crazy unruly magic there. Asgard Okami gets decided there, and unfortunate to say the least, while they had Fire Giant on them. I think they thought they could just end the game, but unfortunately that was not the case. Beyond plus Ultra are using this opportunity. They're like, hey, we're going to try to get some tier 2s. Caps is under the tier 2 in mid. He's going to pick it up. And now they're still trying, they're going to try to get the tier 2 in right as well. Beyond plus Ultra looking for a way into this game. But now Asgard Okami are up, and honestly, that Titan doesn't have a lot of health. You could probably just run it down mid if you really wanted to. Is that what they're going to do? I'm not 100% sure. But honestly, I think you could definitely run. You could just run it down the jungle and walk in, and that would be kind of sick. But they are going to get some buffs. They're going to play a little bit smart here and say, hey, let's get some buffs on the way. Let's get this Pyromancer. And honestly, with Runic Bomb, might kill the Titan. Runic Bomb, it's going to be close. If that Titan gets Runic Bombed, it's GG's. I'm pretty sure. It's going to die. If it doesn't die from the Runic Bomb, it's dying from an auto and a half from inside by himself. Oh my god, unruly magic here by Mr. Blizzard. Mr. Blizzard decides now there's not time to pop off. There's the ultimate for Intox as well. Caps comes on in and takes Spectres out of the game. Inside is gone too. Holy. They said, hey, we're going to go and just take them down. As Godhand Hater runs in Diago, and Diago now is getting chased down by the Bakasura. I don't know. This is not looking good here. Might is looking to show up. There's the Scorching Blink, and Godhand Hater gets put down here by the Hades. Asgard Okami starting to stumble a little bit. They had a 12,000 gold lead and got decided in the base, and then just looked to step up at a wave and kind of got caught out. Mr. Blizzard here again on this Discordia has keeping Beyond plus Ultra in the game. Asgard Okami are at the Fire Giant. They know it's enhanced. They're looking to find a way to end this game. Right side bird just respawned. And no one's here for Beyond plus Ultra. So it's just Asgard Okami standing at this Fire Giant, looking for a way to end the game. And I think they're going to go for the enhanced fire here. They know there's fire waves pushing up. They know they're going to steal away this camp. They have good ward coverage. They're going to know if someone steps up. And Fire Giant is being pulled here. Slayer is here. If they catch Slayer out, that's going to be a bad time for Beyond plus Ultra. Good damage poked out here by 12 gauge. Slayer actually is looking for a way in. So is Intox. The Fire Giant's getting low here. Asgard Okami have to play and get this burnt down sooner than later. They do. Asgard Okami picks up the enhanced Fire Giant, and now it's a full-on retreat here Beyond plus Ultra. Vectors searching, hunting in the jungle along with his other teammates as the mid Phoenix respawns now. That means the Titan will be regaining some health. But look at this. Asgard Okami say, cool, we're going to make it look like we're going mid, but sorry guys, we're actually going to your right side bird that just got, a good chunk of health back. And this is going to be huge here. They want to delay the Titan regen. Pull off the mark here by Intox. 12 gauge getting poked out here by the Discordia, Mr. Blizzard, and now there's the ult by Slayer. They're looking to do something here. The bird's still alive. The bird finally falls. Now Slayer's in trouble, but I don't think they're going to find him. Vectors goes up in the air looking for something. It's going to be Mr. Blizzard. Mr. Blizzard taken off the map as Caps trades out with Inside, but Diego says, hey, guess what? Goodbye. Along with on the Caps with Vectors here. There's the mid Phoenix, and God Handhunter went in and got put down by 12 gauge. It's just the tanks up for Beyond plus Ultra, and the Titan isn't even half health. Can they survive? Can they do something to stay in this game? And the answer is I don't think so. As Slayer falls, it is one Mir Sylvanas versus the rest of Asgard Okami, and Asgard Okami will take game number 2 of the set and end it there. A good set by Asgard Okami there. Fairly clean until like the last 10 minutes of that game number 2. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good as they I think they have this week's games that they played tonight, and then they'll be in the playoffs next week. So be on the lookout. Much better gameplay here for Caps and Mr. Blizzard. Being able to kind of turn around what happened in game number 1. But game number 2 looking clean. They got to talk to God Hand Hater. 2 games in a row, 0 wards from the jungler. Feeling kind of rough. 42 wards by Intox. And I don't know if there was a Chalice bot, and I wasn't paying attention. But another great set by Asgard Okami. Another fun cast to do. No problem, Vectors. Appreciate it. Appreciate all this sending me the game. Chat, I'm actually not going to continue stream tonight. That I just got on to cast the game after we had to FF our set due to complications. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out. I hope you all have a great rest of the night. I'll probably take tomorrow off. I don't know. Maybe I jump on and do some variety.